Back on Morning Line, thanks for joining us, talking the first half of the program and taking phone calls on the COVID-19 vaccine. With us this morning is Dr. Rajbir Singh over at Meharry Medical College, where they are doing one of the trials on yet another vaccine, and we sure hope that that comes about. Hey, by the way, doctor, if that does get through the process, how soon before maybe the vaccine, if it proves effective that you're working on there, will become available for use?
It took almost 6 to 7 months or 9 months for Pfizer or Moderna to get that authorization. It depends on how soon we get the enough number of participants in both the groups, like how many people are infected or with the disease in placebo group or in the vaccine group, so that enough power is there to analyze the data correctly before it goes to the FDA, and then FDA will review the data and give the authorization. So it can take around 6 months, 6 to 9 months, same amount of time what has taken by the Pfizer and Moderna.
Hey, are you under the impression that the way this is going to work with the vaccines moving forward is going to be similar to the vaccines with the flu? As we've already seen, COVID, like the flu bug, can mutate and change and get different antigens and things like this. So every year we get a flu shot, and it's a little different than the one before based on the flu they've seen in other parts of the world. So as COVID-19 mutates and changes, does that mean most Americans or most people around the world are going to have to get boosters or updates every year to match up with the new mutations in the virus?
Yeah, so far, this is a very good question. So far, what has been observed that this coronavirus is not mutating that fast. It is mutating, but it's not mutating that fast. And what so far has been observed in the laboratories and the data is showing that the current vaccines are promising to cover those little mutations in the strains. It has to take a bigger or more number of mutations for the virus to escape the immunity from the vaccines. Regarding whether it will require 2 dosages every year or the strain will be different, I think that we are too early. More information is needed about the change in the genetic code of the virus, that how much it is mutating. Is it escaping the immunity from the current vaccines? If it is going to be that case, then definitely every year there will be new strains, and then new vaccine development will need to be, vaccine will need to be modified to give dosages every year.
That's what
and also we are too early into determining also that how long the immunity will last. Once we have all those data with us, then only we will be able to accurately tell that whether everybody will be requiring 2 doses each year or not.
Gotcha. All right, let's take some more phone calls. We have next up Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Are you there, Cindy?
Oh, hi. I would like to ask Doctor, are y'all going to be releasing those COVID shots to our doctors? Because I'm kind of like Joe. I don't live in Davidson County, so I'd have to go all the way there to Lynch, and then they'll say I'm not a resident, or I'd have to drive all the way up to Murfreesboro and try there. But I couldn't even get tested, okay? But and it's been the same thing with the flu shots. For 3 years in a row, I've been trying to get a flu shot. And they always say, well, we're all out. We got them, but it's not for your age. You got to be 75 and older, I believe, for the flu shot, because that one was too strong, and I'm only 59.
Yeah.
I said, well, can't you just give me a boost in the arm, a little bit of it? No, we can't do that. I said, well, dang, I've been waiting forever to do this. And I would like to know, will my doctors or my drugstore be able to give me the shots?
Okay. Will that be the way it is? Or I know that there's a big big issue with where it goes and how you can do it. We were talking, doctor, about whether the way they do with flu shots, that here at Channel 5, at some point when it gets to us, that could they give the shots to us here at the station? And the problem with that is because of the way the vaccine has to be kept very cold and transported and all of that. So I don't know. You're going to have to go to get the shot to special locations, not so much at pharmacies or at doctors' offices, correct?
Yes, and the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, requires very low temperature to be stored.
Okay.
And these are mRNA vaccine. The mRNA is very unstable compound. It deteriorates very fast. So so that's why it is kept under special conditions at special places. The participant should, whoever is in need for vaccine, patients or people, they need to keep in touch with their provider and their pharmacy. Ultimately, eventually, all those, once the dosages are available, they will be able to get it from those places. Regarding the testing, I think if the person on the line is not aware, Meharry Medical College has been testing all the individuals from the city of Nashville, and that is a drive-through testing at 3 locations, and they can come and get tested.
Okay, good. Let's go next to Ann. Ann, good morning. Hi, Ann.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm just 8 weeks shy of my 64th birthday and was 14 when Vanderbilt first diagnosed my first autoimmune disorder. Is your trial including autoimmune disorders in your trial? Because most of the vaccines that have been approved did not include people with autoimmune disorders. And so I am waiting to find out how people with autoimmune disorders are being treated and followed with the vaccines, as I am anxiously waiting to get one, as I've been a shut-in in my home since February.
Yeah, Ann's been a regular caller to this program. She's very cautious and concerned, and I think that's a great question. What about people like her, doctor?
Good morning, Ann. That's a very, very important question. Autoimmune diseases, as you know, body's own immune system attacks, some of the things in the body. That's when you get the diseases. It could be heart diseases or other nerve system diseases and all. If the participants are taking active treatment for autoimmune diseases, they are excluded from the trials. Reason for that is that these trials are meant to, these vaccines are meant to stimulate the immune system to produce antibodies against the spike protein of the virus. So when you stimulate the immune system, the autoimmune diseases, when they are taking activity, it tries to not stimulate the immune system so that it doesn't attack the body's own cells. So that's why these vaccine trials have excluded participants who are taking active treatment for the autoimmune diseases. People who are with autoimmune disease, but they are not taking active diseases, active treatments, they can be included in this trial, the trial we have at Meharry Medical College, Novavax.
Okay, good. Let's take one more call, doctor, if you can. Let's go to Betty. Good morning, Betty. What's your question? Hi, Betty.
Hello, Dick. I'd like to ask the doctor, it's about the COVID shot. My daughter works for the state, and she's an RN, and she hadn't even got hers yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you want to find out if they're going to be able to make them available to
I'm just real,
people?
Yeah. When are they going to give it to all the nurses?
Okay, thank you. Well, nurses are certainly a priority. The medical professionals are, and they're supposed to be, if they're frontline workers. Is that just another issue where they're still having trouble getting it to everyone when they should be?
Yeah, the shortage of dosages is the problem, as I mentioned before. If she's working in an academic institution or hospital, they should whenever they will get the enough dosages to give it to all, I think that they will get it eventually.
Hey, I'm real curious as we wrap things up, just financially speaking, how much, I remember, like, you know, when you pay for a flu vaccine shot, maybe it's $10, $14. A lot of times they're provided free. I know with a lot of these COVID shots, they're being provided free of charge. But how much does a vaccine cost? Let's just say, what would the actual cost of one of those vaccines be? And not with supply and demand, but how much it would really cost on the market in a regular time when there's plenty of the supply. Is it a $10 vaccine? Is it a $20 vaccine? Do you have any idea?
So far, we know that it's been provided free of cost.
Sure.
And the reason for that is except for Pfizer, which they were not part of the Operation Warp Speed. The other vaccines, Novavax and Moderna, they are part of the Operation Warp Speed. And under Operation Warp Speed, some of the taxpayers' money has been used to fund these trials.
Right.
So if there will be cost in the future, it will be not very much. That's what I can say.
Gotcha. That's all I was wondering on that front. But I think you make the important point. No one needs to worry about, can I afford it? You'll have it made available to you one way or the other, which is a public health issue. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really do appreciate you coming on, and good luck with that vaccine trial. We certainly hope that all of those work out and then can be out there helping people and protecting them from COVID. But thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rajbir Singh over at Meharry Medical College. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Professor John Weil, political science over at MTSU. He was with us much last week with some of those dramatic developments, and now, of course, within the past 24 hours, we saw what happened in Washington, D.C. with the impeachment, where we go from there. If you have a thought or question on that, feel free to join us, and we'll get his take on how things are shaping up and what more to expect right after this. Stay with us.